Hi, come on in. Today I'm going to show you how to make these lovely little pouches. Now, you can make them in any size you want. You just have to get the basic number of chains and then the rest will follow the same for the pattern. Now, they're really gorgeous and you can make them in any colour, any size. You can use different yarn types. Just make sure you use the correct hook to go with them. On some of these I have added little appliques just to dress them up a little bit, and these are all available on my channel as well. I'll put links down below. This one I have put in the two sides to it for the chain, but I'll show you how to make the one with a single chain today to pull it shut with. So as I say, you can make them in any size at all and in any yarn weights. I will link in the description down below the things that I have used today so that you can pop to that if you want to see what I've used. And obviously if you don't have everything to hand that you need, then you can pop this on your watch list and come back when you do. And if you love everything crochet, then you are definitely in the right place. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you won't miss any future content that I have coming up. So for today I'm going to be using this yellow double knitting yarn and my size 4mm hook. So when you're making yours, make the chain as long as you want and then add on another 2 at the end. So start with a slip knot. So put your into a loop, your wool into a loop, put your hook through, yarn over, putting it through and tightening it up, but not too tight. You still want to be able to move your hook. We're going to make, for myself, I'm going to make 10 chain and then I'll add 2. So yarn over and pull through that loop, yarn over and pull through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So that's the length I want mine to be, and I'm going to add another 2, 1 and 2. Now you never count the one on your hook, just the chains down below. And we're going to work into this third chain from the hook, so that's 1, 2 and into the third one. And we're going to make a UK treble crochet US single into this chain. We're going to make it into this top loop right here, so that one right there, because we're going to work down this side and then work back up the other side. So as we come up the other side, we'll be working into the bottom loop of the chain right there. So when you're crocheting, make sure you're only working into that top loop on the way down. So yarn over, 1, 2 and into that one, yarn over and pull through. We've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and the same into the next one, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Do another one into there, to the next one, making sure you're always just picking up this little top loop right there, and carry on making UK trebles, US doubles until you come to the other end, and I'll meet you there. So I've worked down this side and I've come to the last chain, and now because we're going around the corner, we want to make 3 UK trebles US double crochets into that last chain there. Yarn over in there, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and again that's 2 in the same chain and 3. So we've worked the 3 and now we're going to work up the other side. Now, because I've done 10 chain, I have 3 worked into this one, and I will end up with 3 worked into the beginning chain as well, which gives me 8 down that side, and I'll have 8 coming back this side. So if you are making a larger one, remember that your 2 end chains will have 3 UK trebles, US double crochets in them, and then the rest will just be one the whole way along the side. So because I've done that, I will have 8 to make along this side. Now just being careful, sometimes when you look at it, you see this and you think you're not working into the right one. So making sure that's your 3, and then you're going on to your next one, which is right there. So that's your 3 there. This is your next one. You're working into the next stitch, put that opposite one right there. So that single bottom of your stitch that you your chain that you had for this one. So yarn over, working into that one right there, yarn over and back through, and your 3 loops, and there again. And it's just keeping a watch on this. So we have our 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the one from this side, that's the one from that side, and making sure that you're working on the next stitch and into the right loop of that stitch, and into there, and work them right down the whole way. So that's my 3rd one, number 4, oops, wrong loop, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I've worked my 8 normal ones down this side, and now we're going to work into the same one as our first stitch from the other side, and we're going to put another 2 UK UK treble crochets, US doubles, into that same chain stitch from the other side. Sorry, so that's 1 and 2. So we've got 3 into that first chain, and we're going to work now and slip stitch to the top of the other side, just like that. So that's pull over and pull through the loop on your hook. There we go. We'll do 2 chain, 1, 2, and then work into the base here. Now we don't count these chains, we're just counting the actual stitches. So we now work into the stitch at the base with another UK treble, US a double crochet, and then we're just going to work the whole way around into each stitch, doing a UK treble, US double the whole way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now I have gone the whole way around, and it's time for me now to just slip stitch into the top of my first stitch. So remember, your chain stitch does not count, so we're slip stitching into our first stitch right there. Now at the minute our work is inside out, so we want to just turn it over, and it just makes it easier to carry on. We'll do our 2 chain, 1, 2, and we'll start all over again. Into the base of that where the chain is, we'll work a UK treble, US double crochet, and we will work the whole way around again. And you just keep making this as long as you want to, so you can make a nice long one if you want it to, say for a glasses case or something, or a shorter one for a pods case. It's entirely up to you how wide you want it and how long you want it. but I will meet you when you've done yours as long as you want to show you how to finish it. So we've come to the end and I've done mine as long as I want it. I've done my last stitch, but instead of joining it with a slip stitch to the top of our previous round, I'm going to put this a little bit longer and cut it, and then I'm going to finish this with an invisible join. Just makes the top look that little bit neater. And to do this, you look at your top here, we're going to go in through the two sides of our stitch there, pulling it across, moving it down, and on the one previous we will go through the back, not that front one, but through the back of that V and through the loop down below it. You can see what I'm doing, loop right there down below it, pulling it tight to form an invisible join. Loop your your needle through that loop and through the one on the other side, and then you can finish it off how you would normally finish it off. It just makes a nice neat join that you can't see from the top. For our little bag we do need our tie, and I'm going to make that, sorry, my yellow is coming back in again. I'm going to make that one out of a contrasting colour of white, but you could always make it out of the same colour or a different one entirely. This is nice and easy because we are just going to make it a chain, and we're going to do the same as normal. We're going to put our loop, yarn over and pulling it tight, but remember to always leave it loose enough to work. Make your chain double the length and roughly about the same again, so it's about 3 times the width of your little pouch that you want to make. And I'll meet you back when you've finished making your chain stitch. Now when you think you've done enough, then just pull your loop a little bit longer and just test it to see. So that's once, twice, 3 times, slightly longer. And obviously you can make it longer if you want to, but that I think will be plenty long for mine. Cut your bow, put it tight, take a needle and thread it on. Now I always thread mine through the second row down, it just gives you that little bit over and above it, which I think looks nicer. And you want to have your middle here and take it from there. So put your needle in and out, just weaving it in through and out through, so in and out of your stitches and pulling through your wool, just leaving a small tail at this end. You don't want it too long. Now when you come to what is your join, when you have your chain stitch as well as your normal stitch, then go over both of those and carry on. And again, and this means you come out just the other side of that stitch in the middle. Open it up a bit. Now you can make this more even, pull it a little bit too far, just pull it a little bit further back through. Just work it so that you even things up. Now you can, oh, that's a little bit too much that way now. Go on all day, that's good. Okay, that's near enough. So I usually put a little knot here in the bottom. Now you can tie this if you want to, or just put a little knot here in the bottom. I put a little double knot, just holds it together, because especially if you're giving these to children, then they have a tendency of pulling out this chain stitch and the little tie, and then you have to try and thread it all back through again. So I've always found the best thing to do is to make it a little knot. I do obviously tie it there. You can, if you want to, loosen all the threads here at the end just to make it a little bit more like a thing here, or you can keep them the way they were. You can leave them longer if you want to, and to simply tie it up, you just pull it tight, and there you go. You can add, as I say, a little applique if you want to, like I did in the others, and I do have some of those on the channel, so you can have a look on it there. Give them with possibly some little treats in them, or a little present in them, or use them for something else. Absolutely brilliant they are at children's parties as well. You can make them a little bit bigger, and it's very personal from yourself. Let me know what you're going to use yours for in the comments down below. Thank you for joining me, for keeping me company, and I'll see you in the next one.